Good afternoon, folks. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Got the mandem here, obviously, or better yet, unfortunately, after riding so high against Real Madrid, 4-goal thriller, we shot ourselves in the foot against Palace. How you lot doing, man? You lot good, considering
All
everything?
good, brother. All good, brother. Yeah, it's a good little opportunity to bring people back down to our planet Earth so they can see that that's
No
the way
apologies
we've been playing for 90% of the season. But don't worry, a quarterfinal trophy masks the shit that we've been watching all year. Oh, sorry for the last 2 years. Oh, sorry
It's
for the last 5 years. Sorry,
It's progress. That's what they're going to tell you. It's progress. We got the semi-final. We got the final. It's progress. But yeah, I guess it is progress if we're talking about Champions League. But are you surprised? Is anyone's really surprised? We've been playing this way since the start of the season. Let's not do this.
Yeah. Yes,
maybe we had a few good games in the Champions League, but apart from that, we've been playing this way. And we just, we've been. Should I go first? I'm just gonna go.
You three take it among yourselves. We're here for your thoughts, man. It's nice to just listen for once.
No, it is. When you think about it, yeah, it's like we've got 13 draws, yeah, 9 from winning positions. So I'm looking at it as in the other manager their manager did something to change the team, and our manager changed absolutely nothing. It's plan A. Plan A got us to the winning position, and then you end up drawing. So you always have to kind of like shape shift, depending on the game. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Crystal Palace did. Mateta was their change.
Instant impact. They got a semi-final on Saturday, man. They're laughing.
Madness. It's madness because they have an important game, which is on Saturday. The most important game of their season, obviously, and probably in their last 10 years. And we've got an important game on Tuesday, which is quite far. So you look at that already tells you a lot. But you just need to keep thinking about the whole 9 times out of 13 we drew after from being from a winning position, which is worrying, man. It's worrying. With this manager, do you know what I believe? I believe it's plan A. If plan A doesn't work, we're fucked. That's it. Sorry to cut.
I don't think you're wrong.
That's what it is.
It seems like whatever we work on all week, it has to all go to plan on the weekend or on the game week. And if sometimes we've got away with it, sometimes we haven't always been able to pivot away. I guess the word I'm looking for, the phrase is game management is raised into question, man. As you said there, Rashid, like 13 draws, 9 from winning positions. To be fair, I think 2 of them we had 10 men, but other than that, there's got to be something in it. These draws need to turn into victories. You look at the points tally with Liverpool, they're laughing. Like they basically won the title since probably September. They're a point away from winning it without kicking the ball, man. Yeah,
they walked it, man. They walked it. We were never in a title challenge. We never put pressure on them. And by the way, the only, I think we were 5 points. 5 points was the lead. Am I wrong, guys? I think 5 points was the most.
Point, yeah, amount. And then it just
only for a small amount of time. On average, it's been 7 points. Liverpool have been clear pretty much all season.
And 5 points happened after Saka's injury. So please don't tell me that Saka's not being there is the reason why, or Havertz or whoever. Nobody talks about Havertz. Why are you not talking about Havertz? Jesus, them players. Why? Because we have Moreno now. It's reactionary. This is what bothers me. But yeah, go on, Aaron. I know.
Yeah.
So take it away, Aaron.
Man, people listen, chat. People listen with their eyes. They stopped listening with their ears a long time ago, especially when Mikel Arteta took over this club. So here's some Premier League.com stats for everyone from this year. 34 games this year, 34 games last year, and 34 years the game before. Let's spot the progression, shall we? 18 wins. Last year was 24 wins. Oh yeah, we're progressing. The year before was 24 as well. Oh, great progression. At least we feel still second though, eh? Still second. Draws 13. Funny because we've drew the same amount this year as we did in the last 2 seasons. Progression.
Yeah.
We've only lost 3 though. I bet you're going to nibble on that. But we lost 5 last year. Yep, progression. Yeah, lost 4 last year. Progression. 12 points behind with a game in hand. Goals 4. Let's see how we're doing in the goals department. We got 63 this season. We had 82 last season. And 81 the season before. Nearly 20 behind. So horrendous then. But we don't need a striker though. Goals against, how are we doing? The best defense ever. Oh yeah, we're not as good as we was last year. All right, so they're regressing as well. Oh, and the year before. Oh yeah, we're regressing as well. Oh no, actually, sorry, we progressed by 1.
He's loving it.
Oh, that's excellent. Goal difference, how are we doing? 34. Oh yeah, last year was 56. Oh yeah, buzzing. 22 out. I'm only 22 out though. You know, oh yeah, in the season before 42. Oh, so we're getting worse significantly in that stat as well. But here's the real one. The points last season, the 2 seasons ago, 78 points at the same stage. Then we progressed or regressed rather, 77 the season before. But we got 67 this season. I don't know, but we're progressing. We're doing really well under Mikel Arteta. Apparently, we're going that way. Oh, but when the stats tell you you're going that way, people stop listening. You see?
No, it's not. It's not the eyes are the only thing that's important when the stats go against certain people.
Guess what as well? Yeah. So I mean, this stage 2 years ago. Oh yeah, 1 point behind the leader. What about last year? Let's have a little goosey. Oh, 1 point ahead of the leader. What about this season? Oh yeah, 13 points behind the leader. All right, okay. Regression FC. That's why I put this up. That's why I put this up every week. I do it to chop and change because people, when I say, "Oh no, we're not really progressing in any single metric," people go, "Oh, the geezer's talking shit." This is from PremierLeague.com. There you go. And if I'm negative by portraying it, then by definition, your club's negative because they're regressing. What are we doing here?
It's crazy.
There you go. Digest
it's crazy. Look at the football we used to play. We're
a domestic nightmare. We're the epitome of our captain, a regressing mess. And you know what? I don't mind taking the funny side of it, but deep down it hurts me, painful, because I pay a lot of money. And guess what I do? I don't just pay a lot of money, everyone, to go and watch this crap every single week. I also give up time with my 4-year-old daughter and my 7-year-old son to go and watch Arsenal and talk about Arsenal. And I give up a lot of money. I give up a lot of stuff. And
not to mention the emotional cost as well. You're here. You're an Arsenal fan until you die.
Stress.
It's detrimental for this. But you know, at least we finished second 3 times in a row. When did that happen last? Oh yeah, 99, 2000, 2001. What was that sandwich between? Oh yeah, 2 double winning teams. What was this sandwich between? Bottling it 5th place against Spurs and God knows what next season. But we don't know what we're talking about. We're not real fans, except you know we are. You know, what can we do? But you know, people don't really like stats. They don't like watching. That's why I always say people listen with their eyes, because they don't like looking at the truth. We shatter worldviews. That's what we do. Because top gooners, I mean, they're just something else. They're a new breed of. So that's why I always put this up here so people can see. Do you know what I mean? It's damning. It's damning when you look at it, and it's funny on the outside, but inside it breaks me to actually look at it. Because when I make this up every single week, and I look and I think, Jesus Christ, how bad are we? Like, it's not good. Domestically, 3rd round, FA Cup, what we doing? We ain't got past the 4th round since we won it. But, you know, it's not major, but everyone says...
It should be in the semis at the weekend, to be honest.
What one is it? Yeah. What one is it?
Carabao Cup.
But it's not a major. Carabao Cup. Oh, mate. We
semi-finals, big chance missed there as well.
We actually got our pants pulled down and over the knee and just straight on the backside. That's what Newcastle done to us. Eddie Howe.
And we played them three times.
Eddie Howe.
We played them 3 times, Aaron. Like the manager should. This is the thing about this manager, why I say he doesn't learn. Because you played them 3 times. You should have learned or found a way to actually beat these teams. Again, yesterday, you see a manager that's incapable of opening up these low blocks, man. Do you know? Let me give you a little stat as well. Sorry, I'll let you go. I know you're on fire, you're on the roll. But like, the goals came from a defender, and the assist came from a defender. Timber and Kivio. Okay, Trossard scoring goals, but I'm sorry, it's not good enough. What are the midfield doing? Where's Rice? Where's Rice, the number 8? That everybody thinks that he's a number. He's not a number 8, people. You can't play as a number 8 with that kind of tech. No. You
don't think that's harsh on Rice?
No.
Because it was just the other week. He done the madness twice against Madrid.
True. It is very, very true. But let's be honest. We weren't creating that much. What did we create? Against Real Madrid? I know the football that we played is ultra defensive bullshit. You can see on the stat, this board, you can already see 63 goals, my bro. 63 goals, and probably 30 of them are set pieces. or came from set pieces. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not a problem to set pieces. Not a problem. It's not a problem. It's
The
a
other
good
stuff.
thing to have as a weapon. Do you know what I'm saying? But like creativity, our creativity is zero, especially from our midfield. It is not creating. Yes, we are defending, but we're not creating. What did they tell you about Odegaard when he told them about Odegaard? Because for me, it's not just Odegaard. For me, it's Rice as a number 8 as well. It
Whole
doesn't
team,
help.
really.
It doesn't help really. Not because, well, I can't say the whole team because Timber and Skelly are balling.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So our fullbacks are doing their job. But Declan Rice, I'm not being harsh on him, but sorry, like a number 8 is someone like a Bernardo Silva. That's a number 8. A Pedri, that's a number 8. This man is not a number 8. You can't create with this kind of midfield. And then you got Odegaard. When you tell them about Odegaard, what did they tell you? They tell you, oh, but he defends. What are we gonna just defend the whole game? What are we gonna every game defend? Every play you tell them, oh, but he runs around. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here, bro? Like, come on, man. We created absolutely nothing yesterday. What did we create? And that's not the first time, DJ. Well, that's not the first time, man. That's not the first time. It's been happening. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Rice as a number 8 is pulling us down. But yeah, go on, Aaron.
Can I just go just before DJB gets in, because I know we want to say something as well. Can I just add this before I obviously wrap up my my little bit about Arsenal? Do you know, since we won the FA Cup, everyone, we've entered 19 competitions, including the outstanding league that's already done and the Champions League that we could very well win, and I bloody hope we do. 17 consecutive failures in a row. We ain't going to win the Premier League this season. That's 18 consecutive competitions Mikel Arteta, since winning the FA Cup, has entered and lost. If we don't win the Premier League, the Champions League this year, that will be 19 consecutive competitions since he's won the FA Cup that he has not won. Consecutive failures. It's just, you cannot hide from that unarguable fact that we have entered 19 competitions and thus far failed in 18 of them. We win the Champions League, I'll somersault. I'll be doing Stone Cold Steve Austin beer drinks, mate. I can promise you that. I'll be doing that in Munich.
I think everyone would, to be fair.
But until then, failure after failure after failure after failure. And until more people start calling this crap out and unacceptable, it will never change. Because as far as 90% of the fan base are going, you're doing a good job, then that's it. What the owner's going to go, well, he's doing a good job. Nothing needs to change. We got top 4. We got Champions League money. Oh, well, we'll just carry on doing this then, shall we, until the end of time, shall we?
Just not getting over the line, man.
Just not doing any of that. We'll just keep seeing Newcastle lift trophies, shall we? We'll keep seeing West Ham lift trophies. We'll keep seeing Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool win all the trophies, shall we? We'll just keep going, oh, we had a great day out in that quarter-final, didn't we, in 5 years' time? When's it going to stop? When are we going to get some standards? When are we going to say that, do you know what? Second place was maybe quite nice after the 5th place, but do you know what? It ain't just quite cutting it anymore.
Let's get over the line and make some history.
100%.
Yeah.
No, I just here's where I'm at with it, guys, because I was disappointed from day one of this league campaign. When I saw the club didn't do the right thing in the summer, I knew the way that the season was going to pan out. We haven't been prepared. We've let the Champions League smoke screen and cover up a lot of cracks within the club. I'm talking about wages. I'm talking about the wage structure at the club.
Berta's got a lot
We've
to
got
fix.
Kai Havertz on 280 grand a week. We've got Jesus on, I think, about 220. We've got our captain on 200 plus. You know, I've seen players badly out of form on the whole throughout the season consistently. Recently, some of them have come back into form, but it's taken until April, May before we see that. And when you think these players have been under this manager for 4 or 5 seasons now, there has to be some level of consistency. And when people say progression, well, to me, the next stage of progression, when you have finished runners-up 3 years in a row, is to go and win it. And now the narrative is like no one, Yeah, I mean, now the narrative is no one cares about Liverpool winning the league and everything else. Well, I care, and the only reason why it's all been covered up is because suddenly we've found ourselves in the semi-final of the Champions League. So everything that's gone on all season doesn't care. No one cares about it. Everyone's like, well, yeah, but we're in the semi-final of the Champions League. And
which is great, but you got to go win it, or it's just nothing else.
You've got
Really.
to go and win it. You have to go and win it. Otherwise it ends up you've won a quarter-final brownie points over Real Madrid, and that's
Trophy,
all
as
it
Aaron
comes
said
down
earlier.
to. The fact of the matter is, you know, whether you're happy with Arteta or whether you're not with Arteta, if you look at the football side of things and look at the football, take away who's in charge, the manager, the coaching staff, directors, look at the football and the 11 players that cross that white line week in and week out. It has not been good enough on a week-to-week basis. And people can come to me and say, yeah, but, you know, it's not Man United or Spurs. It could be worse. We don't care.
We don't want to be like them. Like, you're meant to look up.
We don't want to be like them. You're meant to be looking at what we do on a week-to-week basis.
Exactly. That's
and
coping.
on the whole, if you was to look at this season, it's been poor. You have to call it out for what it is. We've not scored as many goals. We've had players out of form. We've had too many draws. Teams have been in the game a lot. We've struggled to kill off teams.
We've struggled in winning positions.
We've struggled at home. We've struggled in big games away. We haven't really put a consistent run of games together where we've actually won consistently.
We haven't kept back-to-back clean sheets, DJB, and August
DG,
was the last time we did it.
And then people are going to come back to me and go, yeah, but look at the injuries we've had. Listen,
that plays a part, but how far does that go?
When you run a football team and when you've played football at any level, one of the risk assessments are that you are going to encounter injuries. You have to prepare before the season starts. Injuries, yeah, and you have to have the backup for those injuries. So then you ask the question is, well, whose fault's that then? Well, it's the club's fault. The club has not been prepared. We never had sufficient backup for Saka. We still haven't got sufficient backup for Saka because he's treating Wanyeri like he did Emil Smith-Rowe. Yeah. How that guy never got game time yesterday is beyond me.
Yeah, Sterling was terrible. No.
Beyond. Sterling's going back. Fodder. Get him gone. Wanyeri should have started yesterday and he never. He's treating him. Again, it comes down to man management, and it's this manager that does it. He's treating him appallingly. He will end up on loan and he'll end up sold. And he's one of our best prospects for the future going forward. And this is all the things you have to look at. But it all gets covered up because of the Champions League. And rightly so, we've had a brilliant, and I've said it all along, our Champions League campaign has been pretty flawless. But where's that been in the league? Where's it been? Where's it been last season? We never had no injuries last season and we still didn't win the league. We still couldn't get over the line. The season before the injuries was in and out, red cards, whatever you want to call it, still didn't get over the line and we had an 8-point lead. So you have to ask the questions. And it comes down to this, guys. If this manager does not win the Champions League, it's another trophy less season. And questions have to be asked. Where do you want to be as a football fan? Do you want to be the bridesmaid or do you want to be the bride? Do you want to finish runners-up or do you want to finish champions? Do you want to day out at Wembley and win a trophy or do you want to day out at the Emirates and have a one-off win against Real Madrid? What do you want as fans? Because I know what I want as fans, what I've seen over the years.
Win stuff, man.
Doubles, league titles, FA Cups. You know, I've seen Cup Winners' Cup. I've seen Parma and when we went and won the Cup Winners' Cup. I've seen 89. I've seen the joy it brings to fans. I don't see joy when we're finishing runners-up. You know, and you do have to take a step back and say, this manager has had millions of pounds. He's had time. And I believe every single fan has given him enough time. We've all been patient, and everyone now has been at that level of, okay, now deliver. So if he does
over the line, bro.
Yeah, if he does not win this Champions League this season, I think you've got to give him at least till Christmas next year and see where we are and see what signings and see whether they make a difference in the summer. And then I think you've got to start looking. And I know it's harsh, and I know people ain't going to like it because they think the sun shines out of his backside because he's good at PR, he's good in front of the cameras, the ex-players love him.
He's the sexiest Spaniard we know as well.
He's a handsome young man. You know what I mean. He appeals to the modern supporter, doesn't he? He appeals to the modern day supporter. The modern
definitely
day
charismatic.
Yeah, right. To me, I don't care if Shrek rolls up and manages this team. As long as he wins us a trophy, I'm not bothered what the man looks like. Do you know what I mean?
Facts.
And this is where I'm at, guys. And so big game, and we've had a lot of injuries. But again, it comes down to his man management. It's because he hasn't rotated the team. It's because he hasn't man managed certain players in certain games in certain areas. We've then got the injuries, you know, and I mean, it is worrying. Where do we go? We'll have to wait and see. And there's a big couple of weeks coming up, not only in Arsenal's history, but in this manager's history. Big couple of weeks coming up.
And it starts Tuesday, man. I wanted to ask you a lot, because there is a bit of rhetoric around. Obviously, we win this Champions League or we go trophyless. I think JT Longway has said a club that has never won the Champions League has zero right to hold a manager to Champions League or bust standards. What do you lot say to that?
I say that you always need to aim high. I say that is standards so by that metric, no other team, Man City or no other team can ever win any trophy that they never won before. This is completely bullshit, bro. Because think about it, yeah. There's teams out there. Every team in the world won it the first time in their history, and it's happened before. So there were teams out there that never won it before, and then they won it. What are you trying to say?
Well, Chelsea and City do it, to be fair.
Yeah, why did Chelsea get the chance to?
Twice.
They won it with who? Di Matteo, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? That guy, yeah. And he was sixth. He was sixth in the Premier League, and he won it. And why did Chelsea win it? That's the thing. Why did other teams win? Not just Chelsea, all around the world. Why? Europe, all around Europe. There were teams that won it for the first time. What is he trying to say?
I mean, everyone's got to start somewhere.
He just wants to lower the standards. That's all it is. Oh, we were never won the Champions League. So why are we playing it then? Let's just skip the Champions League. Do you know what we'll do? We'll just not qualify for Champions League. Why do we need it? We'll just tell them, hey, you know what? We've never won it before. Let's not just disqualify us. What kind of
precedent would it send to the squad as well, Rashid? Let's take Jay the long way. Big up as well, mate. It's not a personal dig, but let's just take what is set in there as you've got no right to hold it to standard. So basically, then what you're saying is the Cronkies go to Arteta, and then Arteta goes to his players. Listen, we don't really give a shit about winning the Champions League. We've never won it before. Don't worry, if we don't win it, it's not bust. So it's all well and good. You just go out there and have a real good swell time. And if you win, great. If not, don't worry about it. It's training in the morning and you'll still get paid. That's basically what you're saying. Like, what kind of precedent would that set as a business model from straight to top, filtering all the way down to the players that are on the pitch on that blank canvas trying to win you a game? What would that set? So basically, you're alleviating just exactly how Rashid nailed it. You're taking away the standards entirely out of that competition. And again, Rashid nailed it. You might as well just not play it then, didn't you? Might as well just get into the competition.
Exactly, Aaron.
Yeah,
And the
great,
manager and the
Aaron, great,
players
Aaron.
actually said they want to win it. So where do we stand there? And I don't blame them for that. Why on God's green earth would you not want to win it going into a tournament, especially with you when you're in the semi-finals, especially with what our domestic and other competitions are going on, and the fact that you beat Real Madrid, like they want to win it. The whole reason that I hear the logic behind the comment, but that's all dead because why did we move to the Emirates? I know Glazidas isn't here anymore, but why did we move to the Emirates beyond the wall to be on this Bayern Munich level, etc.? And it's annoying because when you actually look at our participation in the last 4 competitions, yeah, so the League Cup, Champions League, and FA Cup, the league has actually been our worst we've been the worst performer of the 4 in the Premier League, which is jarring because our whole premise was, okay, we can't beat City, they're a juggernaut, but if they ever have an off season, we're going to be the ones to pip them. And I think it comes back to what Boy said in the chat about, you know, what we didn't do in the market. We've all seen the injuries and the red cards. That's all a factor, but we shoot ourselves in the foot. The things that we can control as a football club, we don't always do it. And 13 draws is unacceptable, man. How many points have we lost from winning positions? Now, I know that can happen over a 38-game period, but it's happening too frequently for there not to be something. I guarantee everybody listening, beyond the obvious, you don't think Mikel Arteta and all of them involved, they're going to not look at that 13 draws. Yeah, we need to do stuff in terms of recruitment, but there's so much we need to do in the training, on a training front, which will make a big difference. Anyone that thinks that, for example, low blocks, we're suddenly going to cut them open if we just get a striker and a left winger, that's just half the job, really is. So I don't think you're not wrong.
It's the midfield. To open low blocks, you need a midfield. That's the guy that's the midfield are the players that open the low blocks. It's not the wingers and it's not the strikers because there's too many defenders. They're doubling up on the wingers. So you need someone to create from the midfield. And then the wingers would make the runs and the striker would make the run and then we'll find the player. Because if you just bring any striker right now, if he's not 6'7", he ain't going to do shit for this club. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not going to do nothing because it's just crossing the ball. That's all it is. That's the plan. Let's go out there, cross the ball. Come on, we can do that. And another thing, yeah, people talk about injuries, yeah. You remember when we lost the title when Saliba got injured? That should have been a lesson to Arteta. So when do you learn?
Even last year, we never had injuries, but we missed Partey, Tomiyasu, and Timber. So there's still something. And you can learn from other teams. We've seen Liverpool's season derailed via injuries. And I'm not here to catch the club out, neither are you lot, yeah. But I can only hold you accountable to what you guys are saying in terms of the club, right? Now, Mikel Arteta at the start of last year said we've got one of the finished squad. So between Arteta and the recruitment staff, you haven't changed that. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And kind of piggybanking off what Rashid is saying about goals, Arteta once said we target 100 goals. We're nowhere near closer to doing that. Like you can't get 100 goals without a 20+ bagsman up front in a 9 and serious other options filling around. So I'm only holding them accountable of what they're saying. And he's also mentioned targeting 100 points. Now, cool, this season's a write-off. But we're only holding them accountable to what they are saying, people. That's just how I'm looking at what we're saying personally.
The thing is, when sorry, Aaron. No. But when you're looking at that, these are the comments the manager's making. So if he's setting the standards high and not following through with his own standards, then he has to be questioned. Why haven't you signed a striker? Why is our squad so thin? Why haven't we reached 100 points after being 90, 80 and everything else? And these are all the questions that have to be asked. You can't just lift up a blanket and just shove it under and cover it up. You just can't do that. I mean, at the end of the day, this is the guy that's putting all this out there, and he knows, and it's frustrating. We were 2, maybe 3 great signings away in the summer for having a really, really good season.
Optimism was at a real big high last year as well.
Optimism was at a real, real high. You know, I don't care what you say now. If you asked every single fan, I mean, the Champions League is, we have to win the Champions League. That's something I've never seen. But however, at the start of every season, most fans will turn around and say, win the Premiership. This is what we want to win. The Champions League is a bonus. See how far we go. Most fans would have said, I'll win the Premiership, have a good run in the FA Cup. If we get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, I'll be happy with that. Now, Premiership don't matter. We're in the Champions League. Nothing. How we've played all season and what this and in-game management and the draws we've had and the lack of goals we've had and the lack of creativity we've had, it doesn't matter. And this is the problem, because you're going to get the same pain next season.
If nothing changes, nothing changes. Man.
Whether we win the Champions League or not win the Champions League, the Premiership will be like for like, because this guy does not know how to change things. He's one way. His way is the only way. And if the players do not function the way he wants to function, he bombs them out. Look at the young kid, Wanyeri, is another example. This kid is an absolute young baller. But because he doesn't track back, because he doesn't like doing the donkey work so much, he's on his case. He's on his case. And this is what this managers do. It's my way or the highway. He's got no flexibility in him at all. Why do you think Odegaard's the captain? Because he sits there like a good little boy. Yes, sir. No, sir. Free bags, full, sir. You're the governor. Yeah, I'm not going to cause a problem. Even though I've played garbage all season, I'm not going to cause any problems in the changing room, sir. You're the man. You're the manager. And this is why we throw away leads, because you've got no leaders out on the pitch. There's nothing out there.
Only Everton have drawn more than us.
Show me a leader out on that pitch. Show me someone grabbing hold of these players and grabbing hold of them like the Tony Adams and the Patrick Vieiras in the past, and saying, come on, we need to dig in here. Show me the leader. When it's all functioning and it's all going right, this guy against your Ipswich and your Leicesters and teams like that, oh, he looks magnificent. He looks $1 million. Fantastic. But when the going gets tough and it gets a bit hard, he's missing. This guy's not a leader. And if someone came and gave me 70 million for this guy, he'd go tomorrow. 60 mil.
He's lucky to get that now with his form.
No way.
Even 50 mil, he'd still go. I think he's one. If we're going to get quality in, he's one that I would sell. 100%.
Yeah.
He's definitely got to get his act together, man.
Do you know what as well? To double on that point about Mikel Arteta, he either doesn't learn or takes ridiculously too long to learn. Like Rashid with the point he was making about Saliba. That injury absolutely destroyed us 2 years ago when we was bottling the league, 93% title and all of that. Has he signed a right-sided centre-back since? No. So he still hasn't learned that lesson that we need a right-sided centre-back. You just said, DG and DJB as well, alluded to the fact that Arteta said last year that the squad was thin. All right, so what did he do? He bombed out 4 attacking players and brought in Raheem Sterling. Oh yeah, that really boosts the numbers, doesn't it? Like, so basically you've weakened an already thin squad. You thinned it out even more. We started off as Kate Moss, and now we've gone to Kate Moss fasting. That's how skinny we are. Our squad's so slim. We're in 2D. It's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. It's paper thin. It's embarrassing. We don't learn anything. The injuries, we don't learn anything. Like, it's just...
It's nothing new with the injuries, if I'm honest. That is nothing new. Going back to the early days at the Emirates when we used to have massive injuries and we weren't talking about winning leagues and whatnot generally.
But
we should have known that.
Though, to be fair, when I'm looking at the big injuries, other than Jack Wilshere, I have to say this, other than Jack Wilshere, Diaby, I think, took a real bad tackle. I remember, who was
Eduardo.
it? Was it Eduardo? Obviously, that was at the Birmingham game. I can't think. Shaw cross to Ramsey. There was a couple of them players that had horrendous challenges on in them. Like Havertz ain't had one. Oh yeah, grade 3. Where was the horrendous challenge on Saka? No, he's just been overplayed.
He's lucky nothing happened in the Ipswich game, mind you, Saka. He's a lucky lad. I'll say that much. That was a horrible tackle.
The injuries that we've been collecting, whilst not all of them, absolutely not all of them, I'm not saying every single one of them, a lot of these injuries we've collected this season are self-inflicted. They are absolutely self-inflicted.
Especially the hamstring ones.
Yeah. They are avoidable is the right way to go about that. They were absolutely avoidable. How do you avoid them? Oh, you rotate players. Why can't you rotate players? Oh, yeah, because you sold 4 attacking players and replaced it with Sterling, who you don't even bring on, by the way. When you're 1-0 down or you're drawing, you've brought on defenders over Raheem Sterling. So
you don't rate him.
Raheem Sterling. Nah.
Clearly don't rate him. To which I asked, why bring him in? Now we know why he's
I never rated him in his prime. I thought he was bang overrated, but there you go. That's me.
Facts. What else have I got to ask you lot? Well, we've gone over the 9-point stuff. We've gone and 18 points, and the fact that it's more points dropped than in the last 2 years that is the most concerning thing I'd say. Lastly, on that we haven't kept back-to-back clean sheets since August, because I would have said you're mad if you said that to me. We can only get 79 points, which is regression. I wanted to ask you lot before we get into Saliba, like how much of a part do you think Raya played? And I think this is interesting from the Palace gaffer. He said we showed the players when we were preparing for the opponent that Raya is high. It was the third time we had that situation in the game, and JP had this amazing finish. Now you lot all know Raya's almost like another attacker in a sense that he offers a passing action, but is it kind of predictable? And like, do you think Raya's to blame for that?
Well, how I look at it, right? If you're a forward and you're constantly seeing the goalkeeper off his line, the first thing you're going to do is try and put the defence under pressure to try and win the ball. Because you know he's either going to be backpedaling towards his goal, or you've got a chance to lob him. You know, that just gives you more. That just gives you more encouragement to go and win the ball high up. If you're seeing a goalkeeper off the line, I don't understand why he does this. I don't. You know, there's certain things. You know, come and gather the ball, give it to the. But why does he need to keep doing it? Because what you're doing, you're putting the defense. You're putting your own defenders under pressure. If you're looking round and you're seeing, I used to play defender. If I'm seeing my goalkeeper a miles off the line, I'm like, whoa, hang on a minute. I'm under pressure not to lose this ball here. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking like, get in goal. That's your job. You know, it's just...
It's a good finish, to be fair.
It's crazy.
Ask Maitland-Niles, he knows about it. Look, this is the thing, yeah? This is the thing. Sorry, DJ. I wanted to touch on this. You asked who to blame. It is Arteta to blame. Because you asked me why. You tell me, because Arteta thinks that Raya is Neuer, and he's not. He's not Neuer. He can't do it. This is a tough job you gave him. So what he does is Arteta tells him to, because he never used to do that. The first half of this season, Raya didn't do this. This is like I think since January, December, he started doing this. And this goal was coming, by the way. Why are we surprised? This is what pisses me off about Arsenal.
Part and parcel.
Why
when you
are
play
we always surprised
in this manner? You are going to.
Do you know what I'm saying, DJ?
Like that.
Because he wants him to be like the sweeper. You know, he's an extra body for the build-up, so they can pass around the ball and they build up the game. Because you know how we build up slow, right? We need an extra player just to bop it off. You know, because other team obviously would have to pressure us. So we have that one extra defender, which is Raya. Then if we play a high line, he plays the sweeper. So he's just the only thing that's worrying is that Arteta can't identify that this guy is not made for this job. This guy was perfect on his line. He was a great keeper. Leave him there. He was all right. Don't do the sweeper thing. But I think Arteta is to blame, to be honest, for this. Because I don't think Raya's doing it from...
The second goal we conceded, that's harsh.
No. Because of Raya like moving up the pitch and playing the sweeper role. Because for a keeper to play that, you need to identify that this keeper can do that, and which Raya can't. Because how many times did this goalkeeper nearly get lobbed? He's costing, man. Yeah. It just didn't happen until now.
But you don't think it's worked more times than it ain't, being devil's advocate?
Facts, DJ. Yes, it does. But it's unnecessary. We've got Saliba that can play the ball. We don't need the keeper. He can play the ball. He's a ball-playing defender. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got Timber and Skelly. They can both carry the ball. Why do you need an extra man? Do you know what I'm saying? Why do you need an extra man? Because he was perfect in goal. It did work.
The thing also, Rashid, though, this guy's capable of bringing the ball out of defence. He's capable of getting the ball to his feet. And his first job when your goalkeeper comes out and gives you an option, your mind is then, because if you look at yesterday, Odegaard's pointing for him to pass to the goalkeeper and he gets caught, right? The captain's telling him to pass to Raya and he gets caught, right? But he's put in that position. And I know Saliba should have made his own mind up and he should have,
it's happened twice now. He's going to get
He shouldn't be in that
Saliba's
position.
cocky.
Go and get the ball.
Cocky, DJ.
Saliba, get the ball.
It's his best gift and best curse.
Get it out to your fullbacks early. Not get it under you, get it out to the fullbacks early, or play it in the midfield early, or go and run with it, create space, make it happen, open the player. He's capable of carrying the ball. He's capable of being a defender and carrying the ball out of defence. Yeah, but because your goalkeeper is giving you that option, it's putting you in two minds. You're looking for that pass all the time, and eventually, with the right players breathing down your neck, you're going to get caught out. And that Kavashila against who plays for PSG, he's all over you. I'm telling you, that guy is all over the place. So, yeah, stay on certain situations. I want my goalkeeper to just stay on his line and not give the defenders an option. Let them play through the lines and let them run the ball out of defence. Don't give them that option. Stay on your line. Don't give them that option. Occasionally, yes, when the ball breaks and it's loose, keeper. I like seeing the keeper come, get the ball on the edge of the box, get it back into play early. But in that situation there, it was just madness, absolute madness.
Absolute madness from William Saliba. Does this concern you lot? Because some people actually putting it down to fatigue. Some people just saying he's in bad form. It looks like Kivio's the one holding his hand, and it does raise in question like partnerships in football and how much beyond the obvious of a miss Gabriel Magalhaes is. Like, obviously it says here Saliba's only made 2 errors in 126 games or something of that ilk, but it's coming at the wrong time. But some people putting it down to fatigue and tiredness.
No. Yeah, look as well. I suppose we can also blame Mikel Arteta all we want, but we've also got to have a little pop at definitely them 2 players. For a start, they're probably about 2 meters away from each other for the vast majority of the game. Why are they not communicating? Why are they not communicating? Like, I don't understand it. Like, they're right next to each other. This is twice, like you said, DG. This is twice now that this has happened. I'd like to hope that there ain't going to be a number 3.
We can't avoid it on Tuesday.
If there is, let it come against Bournemouth. Yeah, I mean, I don't want there to be one, but please don't let it be against PSG on Tuesday.
He got sent off Saliba last time he played Bournemouth, if I'm right.
Players, that's it. Yeah, I mean, Arteta, he can only do so much, but them boys, as soon as they get on that field, I know they are still following by instructions, but also there has to be an element of why are you not communicating? Like, why is this little silliness happening? Like, they've got to hold it for themselves. David Raya and Saliba, if it was me and if I was in that team, if they're not doing it organically on their own, I'd be, say, as captain or a teammate or whatever, be going over, pulling them to a side and be like, you two, do you know what, you two? You need to have a little chin wag between yourselves, mate. Because this ain't good. This is not good for business. David, Will, go over there and have a little chat on why you can't communicate. Have a little chat while these silly little mistakes are happening, and have a bloody little chat. Make sure that this doesn't happen on Tuesday night, bruv. Make sure it doesn't happen again the following Wednesday, bruv. If we get through, make sure it don't happen on the bloody 31st, bruv. You know
it can't happen in the final. We're in trouble.
Listen,
trouble.
Devil's advocate, yeah? Devil's advocate. It works more than it doesn't. There you go, DJ. I'll flip it on you now. Saliba, it does. Now, now I wanted to say something. It was Kivio, man, as well. Like, Kivio, why are you passing back the ball like that? He's shook like all the time. This guy, man. This guy is shook.
I like that about Kivio, you know. Kivio seems the one player, and he's got a decent passing range, better than I thought. But Kivio's the one player. He's like, he knows his pay grade, if that makes sense. Like Saliba, sometimes, like you said, 9 times out of 10 it works, but the one time it don't, we're having these combos.
Saliba's a top player. Kivio's a nobody. You know what I'm trying to say? We're giving him a name. Kivio, he's worried. That pass. You know what Gabriel would have done there? Do you know what Gabriel would have done there? He would have went to the left. He wouldn't have passed the ball back. Why are you passing the ball back from the same place it came from? And you know there's 2 strikers on us. Sorry, 2 forwards on us. Like, you're putting us in more pressure. Yes, I did put you on pressure, but that's the whole point of how Arsenal build up. Because the other team pressure us, we kind of like...
And then there's gaps.
Do you know there's gaps? So you played football before. So when you play a little 1-2, and then the forwards, we drag the forwards, and then there's gaps where we can play to Partey or Rice and spray the ball.
I'll be honest, for me, it's Saliba. That's Saliba's L for me, because he just needs to be smarter. Man.
I'm not saying.
I'm just saying.
It is ultimately Saliba's fault, but then you got to look at your captain's miserable attempt for blocking the shot.
Mate.
I mean, it's just This is what I'm trying to say. This is your captain.
Odegaard needs to go gym, man.
Captain all season. A pathetic attempt to block the shot. But in that situation, when your defenders are under pressure, I don't want my keeper giving me an option. I want the responsibility. I don't want my keeper to be giving me an option.
You want to stand on his line there,
if I'm under pressure, I want to either smash it out for a throw-in or try and play down the lines or just play a diagonal ball. I don't want my keeper to put me in a mind where I think I've got to find him and got to play it back to him. Stay on your line. In certain situations, I blame Raya as well, because Raya should not be putting his defenders under that sort of pressure to play him as if he's an outfield player. You know, there is situations where Raya needs not to do that, and it's all round. It's a mess. But listen, I'm not going to be too harsh on Saliba because I think he's done some more good things than bad. And
facts.
You know, I mean, he's a top player, and he's a massive player for Arsenal. And I, for one, think that this kid is just one of the best defenders I've seen in many years.
Generational.
So I'm not going to come down heavily on Saliba, no way. But again, there's big games coming up. There's pressure situations coming up. And it just worries me, DG, that we've seen our players in big games make crazy madness. And, you know, I'm hoping he's just got it out the way now.
Get out your system.
Next time, if he's got the ball at his feet and he sees the Raya there, he's going to tell him to F off back in his goal. I've got this. Do you know what I mean? Leave it to me. I don't need you there. You know, and this is what I want to see. I want to see players take their own responsibility instead of keep looking over to the manager all the time, where he's waving his hands about as if he's landing planes. You know what I mean? It's just like, tell him to do one and just deal with a situation like Rice did with a free kick against Real Madrid. You know?
Be a grown man or a big boy. If you're a teenager,
and it's about having leaders on the field of play, isn't it? There's not enough leaders out there. You know, sometimes you need sort of 2 or 3 real proper leaders on the pitch to just sort of take the ball by the horns and really take control of the game. And we haven't. This is what's I feel has come to haunt us this season. We haven't had that leadership on the pitch. And this is why we've been dropping points. This is why we've been giving away silly goals. You know, because,
do you not think their heads were in the Champions League like they were thinking about PSG?
Possibly, but then Palace.
Yeah, Palace got a cup final. Well,
Palace have got a semi-final on Saturday. I mean, we don't play till Tuesday, and you know, we can mock the FA Cup as much as you like, but to Crystal Palace, that's as big a game to them as it is us winning the Champions League. Crystal Palace to win the FA Cup would be an amazing achievement for that football club.
Yeah.
So you know they've got a massive game, and they were bang on it last night. I was really impressed with Crystal Palace. I was impressed with Wharton in midfield. I think he'd be a brilliant. I think he would be a brilliant signing, and I don't understand why he hasn't got as many England caps as he's got. Eze, I think we missed an opportunity 2 seasons ago with him.
What a goal from him.
Yeah, Eze is an absolute brilliant player. Wharton's a good player. You know, there are so many players out there that we can bring to this club. Because as Rashid said, I've said it as long as well, and I agree with Rashid, we lack that creativity from the centre of the park. You know, we've got nice, tidy midfielders that will break up play, give a nice little ball, but we haven't got that kind of Rodgers or that kind of creative midfield player that's going to get the ball, run at players, open things up. Do you know what I mean? Break the lines, and I think with these low blocks, I think that's what you're going to need. You know,
unfortunately for your big club like this, DJ, if you're a big club, Arsenal, they did it against City as well. Teams used to sit back against City. You guys remember? Against City, Liverpool, Barcelona, Real Madrid, any team in the world.
Teams used to sit back against us when it was Wenger ball days. We're known to this. We're used to this. This ain't nothing new.
Yeah, that was something beautiful. We had great football Do you know what I'm saying? We didn't have the trophies.
But in
We
the
still
Wenger
don't have the
teams,
trophies.
you know, when teams tried to sit back, we had men like Perez and people
Yeah,
like
there you
that.
go.
Do you know what I mean? You had proper.
Not even Cazorla, even
Yeah,
Cazorla and Ramsey. Do you know what I'm saying?
Alexis,
Wilshere.
Alexis, people
There you
like
go.
this.
Yeah. We don't
Fact.
have
Imagine
that.
Alexis Sanchez in this squad. Oh, well, I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
he would.
Him and Saka over flanks. It's a madness.
He'll be
Man,
cooking.
yeah,
He'll be
that'd
cooking. But we
naughty.
need that
Oh,
flair.
listen, yeah, he was awesome when he Alexis.
We
He's
need
by
that
Need some
flair.
individual
by
brilliance,
far the
man.
best Emirates era player by a country mile. Alexis Sanchez.
Oh,
I don't even think anyone's even
yeah.
remotely close to him. He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, Saka will get there. Absolutely, 150%, no
Not
doubt.
yet.
Saka will, but not just yet. Not just yet, but it'll get there. But just quickly as well, because I know you probably want to move on.
Go on.
Jay the long way in the chat, man. No dig at you, bruv. But calmer, man. The thing,
Yeah,
the
chill,
good
bro.
thing is about this geezer up here, yeah, Deluded. He's an absolute legend, right? And I'll tell you for
Appreciate
why.
that.
He lets a lot of different people and with a lot of different opinions.
That's
he
what you
lets
have
them
to
talk.
do,
That's
man.
what it's all about. And
We're not trying to be an echo
Yeah,
chamber.
that is one good thing.
Yeah.
That is one good thing.
Respect for this geezer up top here for doing it. Do you know what I
You
mean?
lot are
He
too
likes
kind,
a
man.
bit of variety. Do you know what I mean? And you know, this
And
is
while
just
we're
our
on the fifth
opinion.
picture.
We've got no agenda, Jay the long way, brother. We just disagree.
Oh
So
my
open your ears
God.
and put your belly away. Yeah. Listen, we're only being
You won't
nice.
go on for the picture. What
We're
is
only
going
joking,
on?
Jay the long way. Yeah,
We're only joking, man. You lot are
got.
taking too many things
Innit?
to heart. Like, I don't
We-
think
we-
anything's got to
all
be
we've got-
explained, yeah. But we're not blaming Arteta for everything. Like,
Yeah. We've just got a
Shit.
difference of opinion, my friend, and that is
Yeah.
all.
And nobody's right,
I'm
no
not
one's
digging
wrong.
out yours. We just differ on that, and do you know what? It's all cool because we can still smile at the end of it. We can still go along with our day. We just differ on our opinions about the football club,
And it's
but that's
not
all
that
cool.
deep.
It's, you know what I mean? So
And actually, it's not fair. Yeah. It's not fair because a lot of different opinions.
You have to
A lot
call,
of different
you have to call
opinions,
the
yeah.
rough out as well as the smooth. You know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, we all want the same thing, Jay the long way. If you're an Arsenal fan, of course, we all want the same thing, and that's for trophies. That's all we want, brother. We want
And
the
just to
same
put
thing.
our best foot forward, because ultimately we're dying by the high standards that the managers reset for the club. Like, we've got 13 draws, bro. There's no way of wrapping that up. Fair enough. There's been a couple with 10 men, dodgy refereeing decisions. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, if you was to ask Mikel Arteta, his coaching staff, do they think they've controlled all of the controllables that they have? Evidently not. Would they describe this season as a missed opportunity? 1,000,000%. They're not going to cut excuses because, unfortunately, there is no excuses. Winners win, losers explain. And we just don't want to be doing another one of that. Like, you look at our last 9 games. We lost to West Ham. We drew against Man United and Forest. Fair enough. We won a couple of London derbies against Fulham and Chelsea. We all knew we'd draw against Everton, which we did. Brentford, we conceded a late one again. We battered Ipswich. And then we drawn with Palace. This is 14 points from 27. It goes back to what all of us said at the start about depth, because I do think this plays a part as well. Go on, DJB.
No, that's madness. 14 points from 27. That is just, this is what I'm saying. You have to ignore the personal side of things. As I said, I've got nothing personally against Arteta. I'm sure he's a very nice bloke. I'm sure he's a great guy, and he has done some good things for the club. But there comes a point when you have to look at all the things and you have to ask why. Why are we finishing second every year? Why is this? Why is that? Why is this? Why is that? And unfortunately, this season has not been good enough. Last season, we missed out by 2 points. We played some lovely football. I can't deny that. But this season,
it weren't a fluke as well.
This season has been. See, how I look at it. When you've progressed from 8th and 5th and 8th and everything else, okay, and then you've got to that point, and you think to yourself, right, I've got to this point now. It's like when you're training and when you're keeping fit, you get to a level and you think, right, I've got it. I want to stay there now. Yeah, you don't start going eating like 4 lots of burgers and 20 fry ups and let it all go tits up. So when he gets to this level, he has to go to the next level. And me personally, I'm not seeing that. I think he's reached, I've said it before, I think he's reached his ceiling. If
he's going to have to reinvent himself.
If he wins the Champions League, to me, I'll be absolutely over the moon. But I want more. Me going into the Premiership as European Championship as European champions, want to go and walk the Premiership. I want this manager to go and win the Premiership next season. I don't want to win the Champions League and go, oh, that's it, job done. Everything's cool now. We can go another 5 years and not win nothing now. It's fine.
Nah, bring the Prem.
No.
Nah, a lot of fans will be all right with that. He'll get a 5-year contract, trust me.
The thing is, me personally, and this, I don't see this manager doing that. I don't see this manager continually, getting us over the line. And because I've seen more evidence of failure than I have victories, if you know what I'm trying to say. I've seen little pockets of victories, 5-1 City, the Real Madrid, but I've seen the Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. I've seen, Spurs when we had to finish fourth. I've seen Newcastle. I've seen Man United in the FA Cups. I've seen it, and it's just it's tiring. There's
nothing wrong with wanting to get over the line. I don't know what the issue is.
And MTech said it earlier on. He said about the board and everything else. Well, let me tell you something about the board. No matter what you say about the board, and you go through every single club.
Stop it right there, DJ.
All the
Please
fans.
Stop it right there.
There you go.
Comment. Sorry, DJ. I mean, DG. DG,
exactly,
please.
Right? There you
Please
go.
stop it right
this board has given him £750 million in 5 years. And not only that, by the time this summer window is over, it could be $1 billion.
Yeah.
Let that
300.
This manager that you see on the screen now, by the end of the summer this year, would have had £1 billion pumped into this football club. So before you start going, what about the owners? Yeah, the owners, we all know about owners. Owners of every football club have got their faults. But you cannot deny that by the time this guy has had £1 billion spent, I expect more than the Champions League.
If these guys rate Arteta as much as they say they do, they should be asking fair questions about why you haven't got over the line in the Prem or this, and look to blame everybody but Mikel Arteta. We're not saying he should be blamed for everything, but things are not necessarily positive.
No, exactly.
You don't want Arteta to hold anything. If we were walking the Premier League like Liverpool, Arteta, you wouldn't be talking about the board, maybe not even necessarily players. It'd all be like DJB said about the man on the picture. So why can't you ultimately be held accountable to that? It feels like a lot of people support or condemn Arteta more than just supporting the fucking football club. Like some of the comments, if I'm honest, man.
I said the problem is we're going down a dangerous road, guys. Before Rashid and that comes in, I just wanted to land this and then I'll shut up. But the problem I've got with this club at the moment is that this man in the picture is bigger than the football club.
Yeah, it's a sum, which is crazy.
I've always said that if someone is bigger than the football club, then long term, it's a problem. Because even Alex Ferguson was not bigger than Man United. Arsene Wenger was never bigger than Arsenal. This guy is bigger than the football club. And he's got this cult lauded following that if anything goes wrong, he's never accountable for it. And if you say anything bad about him, or you call him out, or you spit facts and you show facts up on the screen in shows and streams that I've seen on Aaron's and everything else, and it's right there in front of you, people deny that and they swerve around it and they go, yeah, but we beat Real Madrid over 2 legs 5-1. Okay.
They're killing their ideologies. There's a lot of people too loyal to managers or owners rather than the actual football club, which is annoying. Then
one other thing, I've also heard that but he schooled Ancelotti and he schooled this manager. This guy was schooled yesterday by a guy that's just walked into Crystal Palace this season. He was schooled by Moyes. He was schooled by Potter. He's been schooled by many, many managers that we should be beating.
And even that, we know he's a good manager. He's done well in big games, Pep, Klopp, all of that. That is all irrelevant. Yeah. We know Arteta is good at that stuff, but where does that take us? We haven't got anything to celebrate. Hopefully in Europe we're wrong, but in the Prem, this is the worst of the 3 title fights we've had, injuries or not. Like injuries to blame as to why we didn't see out the lead yesterday, or Aston Villa, probably not, but fair play.
Why did Arne Slot not need 750 million and 5 years to win a Premier League title, by the way?
Oh, he inherited the big club. He inherited a squad That's what
It's a
they're going to
fluke
say.
season from Liverpool.
I know what they're going to say, Aaron.
We're just wondering why, you know, they spent
Yeah,
40
what about
million
Klopp?
on a
Klopp is the
backup
best
winger and
example.
won the league.
Yeah, Klopp is the best example. Sorry to cut in, Aaron,
Yeah,
but
you good, bro?
it's very sensitive to me. This topic is very sensitive because Klopp came in and he won. In 3 years, he won the Champions League. In the second year, he got to the final. Now, this man, he's going to get us to a final in 6 years, and we're going to hope that he's going to win it someday in those years to come. If he doesn't, of course. If he doesn't. But if he does, the whole conversation is different. But what has Klopp won in 5 years? Go check what Klopp won in 5 years. And Klopp is not the level that I want more. I want him to win more than Klopp because I really believed in this bullshit. Like D, I'm telling you, bro, I believed in this Arteta. I believed in him at first, yeah, because I thought that he was Pep's second. You know, you remember when they used to tell us like, oh, he's Pep's second. He's the second coming of Pep. I believed that bullshit. Do you know what I'm saying? And then when I started to see what's happening and what he done in the first 2-3 years, I'm sorry, it's not good enough. You could have won that's when you could have won a Carabao Cup, a little FA Cup. That's when you start winning. You start winning from there and showing me that you have something to show for. Show me some kind of style of play. We lost 4th place to Tottenham, bro. That's when I had enough. We lost 4th place to Tottenham. Tottenham, Conte, phase 1. Yeah, we're going to do the whole phases now with everyone. Oh, Arne Slot, phase 1. Yeah, because why is it phase for us and for other teams is different? Oh, we're not Real Madrid, we're not Barcelona, we're not Bayern Munich. Can't we dream? Isn't that the whole point of football? Football's dreaming, right? Football's dreaming to get there.
Striving to be the best, bruv.
Innit? We dreamt one day we'll beat Real Madrid and we go to the final and we beat Real Madrid.
We did it with a depleted squad as well. Like, for me, Arteta is just about getting over the line now. Like literally, it's that now. Like us as a club, we need to get over the line, whether that's in the Champs, whether that's in the Prem, or something at some point is going to have to change. Like hopefully it's the Champs. Premier League performance next year has to be a lot better. My eggs are in the Berta basket because as much as I do think Arteta shoots himself in the foot and he's got a lot of good qualities, I do think at times we've had that kind of like partnership where Edu don't really know what he's doing. Arteta shows his naivety. Berta needs to come in and say, no, we're not buying another Kai Havertz. Gyökeres is it. This is that. Go do your thing and let's win a trophy. That's where I'm at. Because this can't go on. It's boring now, if I'm honest.
Yeah, facts.
They'll let it go on. It's a cult. I swear to God, it is because it really all it is that I was right a bit about this manager. That's all it is. I was right. It's egos, D. It's egos. Ask all of them. They will never tell you sorry after. They should have said sorry 19
they wanted
times
hella
to
apologies in the last week.
19. This year only, you should have apologized for the Premier League, wasting our fucking time, wasting Aaron's time, DJ's time, and a lot of people's time, your time, and a lot of people in the chat going to games, paying for a fucking t-shirt that is overpriced, watching players that get millions.
Don't forget the £5 programs as well.
Why are you caring about these, man, bro? They don't know you. Come on, man. We like the players. Okay, I like Saliba. He's a good player. Okay. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to be like Saliba over Arsenal. Bro, sorry. You made a mistake. I'll cuss you off simple. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, that's why you're getting the P's. But it's really just egos. It's really just, I told you so. That's why when they beat Real Madrid, everybody was like, yeah,
apologies.
Make apologies. Do you get me? Like, come on, man. You should be happy that we beat Real Madrid. Why don't you focus on that? But that's what it is, really. Unfortunately, that's what it is. But for us, we say sorry. I know for a fact, all of us, the negative community, you know, them man, all of us, the whole team, I know that all of us would say sorry and be like, do you know what I would say? I would say, I don't know how Arteta did it, but he done it. So, okay, I'm wrong. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do it, hats off. If you don't do it, we ask questions of everybody as to how we get over there and what we're missing. I think football's quite white and black like that. Did you win or did you not? Let's look at why we didn't win. If we win, great. But we've done neither at the moment. Like, there's nothing set in stone. There's no history. We got some very decent players. I know the fans have a bit of civil wars every now and again, but we've come a long way from the whole granites and things of that ilk. Let's do what we need to do, man. Let's do what we need to do. Aaron, before you get out of here, yeah, because I know you got to go and take the little one somewhere. Before I get these lots' thoughts, yeah, what did you? I think we've skipped over it. Ben White and Merino were absentees against against who did we play? Palace. They couldn't be. They might not be there against PSG. Like, is that a big blow? Where are we at with that? Because some brand did it with injuries and a flaky squad.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's sort of craziness. If you'd have sort of said to me that I'd be a little bit gutted that Merino was injured playing as a striker.
It's crazy, isn't it?
2 months ago, do you know what I mean? I'd have probably laughed in your face, but yeah, he's turned out to be quite an important member of the squad, and I do hope that he is sort of fit. The funny thing is, though, with the Merino thing is what will he do with him because of the party injury? Do you know what I mean? Like, will he be in the midfield? Will he be up top for that game? That's obviously, you know, another sort of question. But I'll tell you what is a little bit worrying, and taking the Merino thing aside, and he's been brilliant, by the way. Fair dues to him, deserves his flowers.
Yeah.
Ben White, yeah, I just hope he's not in that sort of phase now where he's going to keep getting niggly little injuries. I don't think it'll ever be as bad as a Tommy Asu-esque sort of style, but you don't want him being like a Calafiori sort of player now, you know, coming in, finds his feet, 6 games, out for 4 games, back for 8, out for 2, back, and so forth.
There's a merry-go-round of a start of the season.
Forth. Yeah, I sort of really hope that he can sort of maybe get over this sort of injury, but you know, he kind of needed surgery at the start of the season, but Mikel Arteta carried on playing him, so it's another self-inflicted injury at the expense of possibly Ben White's playing career. You know, you just don't know with these things. That's the sort of the level we're at. But yeah, I obviously hope Ben comes back. You know, he's not getting in ahead of Timber, who's been, I mean, I'm happy to quite comfortably say this, actually, probably one of the best performing right backs on the planet at the minute. He's just been unbelievable. I mean, if anyone could name me 2 that are performing better than him over the season, I'll be absolutely dumbfounded.
Post ACL as well, like the amount of minutes he's played. Timber's been amazing.
He's been unbelievable, that player. So Ben White's got a real job on his hand, and if he's going to start nicking all these little injuries now, you know, in the summer, I'm not saying this will happen, might be next summer, but during this next year, I'll just sort of summarise it up by saying, you know, he might be sort of looking elsewhere, because if he's picking up these little niggly injuries and not getting into the squad, I don't think he seems to be a type of player that I hang around. And it's a shame, because Ben White has been fantastic for us at right back over the last couple of years. He just has. So obviously, I'd hope for the squad depth that he stays, but yeah, and AFC always, yeah, he's right up there. He's right up there, Timber. He's been unbelievable.
He's one of the best signings, isn't he?
Yeah.
We'll take him and Magalhaes, really.
Yeah. It's
could be right.
Either the right, yeah.
Partey, yeah. So Arteta has got it right on occasion with recruitment. So we're only asking fair questions.
Absolutely. The problem is he's signed 31 permanent players, and you've just named 3. There lies your problem, DG, yeah? Chat. There lies the real problem. Do you want to name over the other 27, 28? No, you don't.
Yeah, there's been some duds like William and whatnot.
and on that note, I do have to take my
big up, Aaron.
Aaron, big up yourself, my guy. Make sure you're following his YouTube channel, folks. Someone moderate it. Someone please post it. Come
DG,
on, man.
Absolute pleasure for letting me come.
Mine on, man. You know you're part of the family here.
Sharing a platform. You're a geezer, and of course, DJB. Rashid, it's always a pleasure to share a screen with you. Chat, big up to yourselves. We all want the same thing, even if we disagree. Just smile. That's all you want. Just support the club, yeah.
Exactly. Ride the highs and lows.
But yeah. Other than that, boys, take care. Have a great stream. It's been a great stream so far. I'm sure it'll be even better now. I'm off. Buzzing.
Big up, Aaron. Legend, man.
Legend, man. Big up yourself, Aaron, man. Yeah. Where are you two at with this? With Merino?
I think Merino has been a gamble that's paid off, and all credit to Arteta for that. I mean, you know, he put him up front, and to be honest, his input's been better than Havertz, who we paid 65 million for. My biggest problem is obviously we're going to hopefully go and get a proper striker, if you like, in the summer, and then do you move him back into midfield, and that's where. This is where Merino's got to kind of learn his. So what
would you do with him? Is he seen as a striker to you now, or centre mid? Is he kind of what I guess Arteta might have hoped for with Havertz, in that he's comfortable in midfield as well as a forward? He's like a plug and play kind of guy. Then
I mean, you could use him as like an attacking sort of central midfield player, really, can't you? I mean, you can sort of like play him just behind the front two, or the front, or just behind, and have him more in a forward position. If you've got a nice, if you've got Skelly inverting and you've got Rice holding and everything's comfortable at the back, you can play Marino just on the edge there and just playing in between the lines. A bit like what Bergkamp used to do. Do you remember when he used to drop off in the lines and pick them up? You could give him a similar role to that. And then eventually, he can chip in with a few goals. So there's, especially if you bring in like another central midfield player like a Zubimendi or someone like that, whoever we get, Marino could definitely play in that kind of hole there just behind. And, that's where I could see him playing. I don't think he's going to be a defensive kind of midfield player, low line midfield player. Not from what I've seen of him anyway. He's all credit to him. As for the Ben White, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because he hasn't really done a lot wrong. I mean, by default, he was brought in as a centre half, and once again, he was stumbled as a right back by default because we had injuries. And he hasn't really done a lot wrong. It's just that Timber's just come in and he's just come in and nicked everyone's guilt rings. You know what I mean? It's been amazing, hasn't he? The guy has been outstanding. And could he have played centre half instead of Kivior these last couple of games?
Probably, I would have done that, but football's a wonderful thing, man. Kivior shut me completely up. He's been playing out his skin.
Would he have been better suited than Kivior at centre half? Because let's be honest, he played a hell of a lot of games there for Brighton.
If you ask me, I would have done it. I don't think I got a leg to stand on no more.
Yeah, and that's where we bought him from, and he played a lot of games there, and he was on the periphery of being called up for England in that position as well. So
true.
I don't understand why we haven't tried him centre half, but getting back to it all comes back down to Arteta again. He's had countless of opportunities in games to try different things. Bringing Ben White alongside Saliba when he's injured. Playing, because Odegaard's gone a bit stale in the 10, perhaps, move him into an 8 and play Ranieri in a 10. He's had plenty of opportunities to mix things up and try different things. And this is another question mark I have over him. He doesn't seem to kind of experiment and try these things, He sticks to the same way, and it can be quite frustrating. But yeah, I mean, I personally think when Ben White's fully fit, I don't think he's the sort of player that's going to want to sit on the bench too much. I think clubs will come in for him. There's a lot of clubs out there that would take him, definitely, because he can play at right back, he can play at centre half. And I still think we'll get good money for him, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of clubs that need defenders. You look at Spurs, for instance. You look at West Ham,
a couple of them.
Yeah, there's some clubs that need defenders, but then it comes back, DG, that we can't leave ourselves short. We can't. We've seen it before over the years with Arsenal. We've like depleted a squad before we've actually won anything. So we can't get into that. You've got more
work to do now.
We can't get into that position where we're kind of weakening our squad before we win anything. We do have to build an actual squad. We have to get people off the bench like for like. Obviously there's going to be play. You're not going to get someone off the bench like for Saka, for instance, unless you pay like 140 million for someone. But what I'm trying to say,
drop off can't be as massive as it is.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is it's got to be that level. Like that's why I wanted to sign Elise from Palace.
He'd be a dream. He's just gonna.
Let's be honest. Saka's injured. Bosh, Elise's in there doing the business. Saliba gets injured. Gabriel gets injured. You ain't got Kivior coming in. You've got someone else coming in that's going to take over. That's going to look commanding. This is where you've got to be with this club, and but hats off to Marino, and fair play to Arteta for putting him in there. I'll give him that.
Rashid, do you think Kivior's played his way back into Mikel Arteta's plans? He was linked to someone that could leave in the summer. Like, is it worth keeping hold of him now?
No. Kivior had one good game, which was against Real Madrid. He had, every time I saw him on the pitch, panic. He creates panic in that defense, major problems, and a lot of balls given away. Even though he's got a good touch, but I don't know, maybe he's not a centre back, innit? Like, this Arteta guy must be, signing players where they don't really fit in. I don't know.
He's not a centre back. He's in trouble because where is he playing?
Facts,
I'd be scared for you, Kivior.
Bro,
His left back didn't work.
Maybe a number 6, double pivot number 6. But it has to be a double pivot because he needs help.
Maybe in a low block kind of Everton kind of David Moyes system, but it's done at the top level.
I'm telling you, man. He had one good game. Let's be honest, guys. Let's not act like he had against Crystal Palace yesterday. He made major mistakes. They were big mistakes. We didn't concede from them like we did from Saliba, but they were mistakes. Steve.
He's not an Arsenal player. Let's be honest. There's a lot of players that are not.
He's not our level.
No.
He's not our level, DJ.
He shut me up. To be fair, I believe I'm with you, lot, but I ain't got a leg to stand on with Kivior, according to the media.
Oh yeah. Of course. The media gassing him up.
I ain't got a leg to stand on when it comes to YouTube with Kivior now. He's amazing.
They gave him man of the match. What? They gave him man of the match the other day against. Was it against Real Madrid? Against who? It wasn't even Real Madrid. He was in the Premier League. He didn't even play well. Ipswich. They gave him man of the match.
Ipswich. I thought that was Marino, to be fair. I would have given it to him. But...
He ain't no man of the match. What are we talking about here? They didn't
even against Ipswich, what did you have to do?
They had 0 shots on target. What are we doing here? Bro? They barely created. Even
but you know why that was in it? You know why he got
because he was defending. No, they didn't even try.
It's never that. Martin Keown was the commentator. It's got to be a coincidence. It can't be a coincidence. Sorry, that's why he's giving it Kivior, man. He's trying to do the dark arts and whatnot.
Listen,
I think that's what I think. Anyway.
Listen, man, it's okay. We'll shake his hand. Okay, DJ, do you want to say something?
No. It depends what standards you want for Arsenal Football Club. If you want to bomb along and have someone like Kivior as a main defender, who's covering your fringes, then that's the standard you expect. Don't expect anything else.
And to them fans, don't turn on him when he has that inevitable bad game. Don't gas him and then turn on him.
Kivior's not good enough. He knows he's not. But then there's a lot of players that are not good enough to play for this football team. Let's be honest. But okay, I've just praised Marino, but I've not seen him really in his proper position where he was bought for. Let's see over a course of a season whether this guy is worth it.
Guys, look at his face when he's on the pitch. He looks worried, and he worries me.
He does have that look.
So if he's worried, if my centre back's worried, I'm worried too. Do you know what I'm saying? I want you not to be worried. I want a Gabriel to stand there, even though it goes to shit, to stand there and do his job.
That's about Calafiori.
Look, Kivior will just shake his hand. We'll be like, listen, you have Arsenal on your CV now. Don't worry. You're going to go out there, you're going to find a job. You get me? Don't worry about it. Yeah, you're good. Trust me. West Ham, I don't care.
There's a couple of big Italian clubs allegedly interested. So
ain't no way. Is it?
AC Milan, Inter, Napoli, all alleged interest. Now, as you know, interest is different.
Rashid, he's the Polish Maldini, mate.
Oh my days! The other day he was. The other day, what's his name? I'm not gonna say his name because of you.
I'm telling you.
Because of But he was a well-respected Polish international. Get the fuck out! Just because he said it that way doesn't mean he's a good player, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? You're just a good talker.
Bring us the Champions League and you can get all of those accolades from me.
If he bangs in a header in a Champions League final like he scored against Palace and that wins it, mate, he can go for every.
For me, 5th choice, DJ. I'll be real. For me personally, 5th choice. Moreno, 5th choice.
Yeah.
5th. There needs to be major injuries for him to to walk into the
But this is what I can't
first starting
understand. He
line.
hasn't given Ben White a run out there. I can't. I don't know who
Yeah.
would have been stronger, Ben White or Kivior.
Oh yeah, they're telling us
I would
Ben
have
White
said
had
Ben
a
White
baby.
going into it, but like, give you fair
Yeah.
dues, man. You stood up tall so far. I don't want Arsenal fans to rewrite history and behave like he's the guy and whatnot. I'm cool for him to stay if he wants to be the backup, but yeah, we need better. And we're already linked. We're linked with that Bournemouth lad as well. And the Ornsteins and all these guys keep saying if we bring him in, it's not to replace Gabriel, Magalhaes, or Saliba. It's to provide competition. And obviously, one's left-sided, one's right. But that means it's even harder for Kivior to get
But
games.
when you say backup, do you mean? Sorry to cut you off. When you say backup, do you mean like straight backup, as in
No, the role that
Gabriel or
Kivior's
Saliba?
played since he signed for this club. If you want to continue doing that, it's cool with me. If
Fifth
that's
choice,
what you
okay.
want to do. Obviously, I know he doesn't want to do that. Everyone wants to play in that. I'm cool for him with that. But I look at it where we're looking at. I think DJB said it earlier. Like Berta's got a lot to do, and there is outgoings.
Yeah.
Now, if the interest is genuine in Kivior, he's one that maybe can get a couple of quids for,
Oh, you
maybe
have
even
to,
more because
yeah.
his stock is high. So I don't know.
Bro.
There's a lot of
I mean,
moving parts.
30 bags for him.
Are you gonna get
him.
more? DJ, do you think you'll get more than 24 for Kivior?
I think you'll
Hopefully
probably get
Berta
about
can.
24, 25. I'd take that. See the thing is, right, what we've got to do, in us to be going forward and making this club strong, where teams fear us in the tunnel, we have to invest massively. We need proper midfielders. We need a proper left side. It needs to be sorted out. We need a banging centre forward. That's all going to cost money. Now, in order to do that, we're going to have to see players go out the door. I still think Trossard will go. Kivior will go. Zinchenko. Yeah? These players have got to go. And Martinelli could even be up for grabs.
He's on big wages as well, Nelly.
He's on big
you
wages.
You can get peas for Martinelli. You can get some peas.
Yeah, but people,
we can make money.
Man ain't going to like it, but these are the facts, guys. But this is the problem that this manager has created through the signings he's made with the money he's had over the years. If he'd have made the right signings with the money he's had, then we would have only had to added like one or two pieces. If we'd have got a striker last year and a banging central midfielder and a left-handed side player last year, or Elise and back up for Saka last year, you'd have only had to have made one or two signings in the summer.
Yeah,
that's it. But because
can't argue.
Yeah, because it's not been done, because the right business has not been done. We've been crying out for a striker. We go and sign us. We go and buy a centre half and play him left back when there's already left backs at the club. We then buy a defensive midfield player, and he's had to play as a forward, who's better than we've got, by the way, in Havertz.
Who was another centre mid going up there?
That is madness.
Who was another centre mid. So, come on, guys. Let's look at it, please. Just look at the facts. If the right business had been done, we'd have had to have just signed maybe 2 players. But instead of that, we need 6, maybe 7 players. And in order to do that, Ben White might have to leave. Martinelli, we might have to listen to offers for Martinelli. We might even have to listen to offers for our captain, guys. Seriously.
I don't think they're letting him go, DJ. I'll be real.
They're not letting him go this time. 100%.
Odegaard is a no-no. I think Martinelli could leave before Odegaard. Odegaard is a no.
I think Trossard will go.
Trossard doesn't want to be here. He's starting
I don't think the Odegaards and Nellies leave this summer. I think Trossard's wanting. Trossard,
Martinelli, they'll listen to Zinchenko. I mean,
he's on 150 grand a week. I've
said it before. One good thing about the Saudis is you got to get out of jail card there, because they got so much money. They just want names. They just want to build their league through names. So like Jesus, when he's fully fit, the Saudis will come in and give like 25, 30 million for him because he's a name and he's going to play in the Saudi league.
They'll buy your arm off for that.
So you have got to get out of jail card with the Saudi leagues when you want players off your books. But yeah, man, we've given us. This is what I'm saying. Let's put the Champions League to the side and look at actual what's going on here. We've got a problem with wages. We've got a problem with players. We've not signed the right players, so therefore we've got to then sign more players to make this club stronger. And that is where it's at, guy. You know, you can't deny that. That's where it's at.
Facts. What do you lot make of the news that came out yesterday in the build up to the game about Arsenal being in talks with Thomas Partey over a new contract?
Good.
It's madness. It's madness,
Same.
because he's been our best midfielder.
Good.
While I expected that
100%.
Rice would be my best midfielder. No dig at Rice. No dig at Rice. But I'm sorry, 105 million. I expect something.
This
I
guy has
expect
been
something.
phenomenal.
This guy's an uncle. You don't even know if how old is he? You don't even know.
Allegedly 31.
Allegedly. There you go. What we doing here? Like, come on, man. What is this? Like, no, the serious thing.
It's true. Because I always say this on my streams. I have to verify that he's actually 31, but I guess we won't. I'd say the crucial bit for me is that he's open to a 2-year deal, or what I would do, a 1 year plus an option of another 12. If you continue this time next year, automatic renewal. If we go the other way, where it's a polar opposite, you can kind of get rid. I wonder what it means for the wages, because Berta's got a lot to do, but
exactly.
Oh no, man, I'm keeping him.
But DJ, this is why I said you need squad in depth. So if we do sign another central midfield player and they get injured, or you want to rotate
that regardless.
certain games, who better to come off the bench than this guy? Or start with this guy and bring the other guy off the bench. Do you know what I'm saying? Who is better to come? I don't ever want to see him at right back. Don't be selling.
You know you're going to see
White.
that, man.
Don't sell me Ben White and have this dude as like the backup as right back. Okay?
You know you're going to see that. You know you're going to see it.
No, we don't want that.
You have to keep.
I love this guy. Remember, like, he's put him right back unprovoked numerous times. Injuries are one thing, but he'll always.
And let's be honest. He knows he's not a right back. You know what I'm saying? It's just like putting a 5-year-old in a Ferrari, isn't it? You know, what would you expect? You know.
Accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He knows he ain't a right back, but the guy's done a job. He's done the best he can, and to be honest, he hasn't done like a Kivior settings at right back. Do you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, you have to keep him. You have to keep him because
experience as well.
He's the first. I think it's the first time since we signed him this season that he's actually gone more or less a whole season injury free. And it's so annoying because we've seen the best out of him this season. If we'd have had him fully fit last year and the season before, who knows where we might be? I don't know.
But I wanted to add something. Yeah, this is the kind of talent you want in your club. I want this guy as either I want competition with this guy and someone else, a Zubimendi. So if I don't have Zubimendi on the pitch, I have Partey.
Yeah,
you get what I'm trying to say here? If I don't have Timber on the pitch, I have Ben White. I agree with you 100%, DJ.
But Rashid, when you spent come this summer £1 billion, that's what your squad should look like.
Facts.
When you spent nearly £1 billion, the options on the bench should be as good as what you've got on your first 11. Don't be spending me billions of pounds and I've still got Kivior rolling on at centre half. And I've got signings like,
Moreno
do you know what I mean? I don't want to see. I don't want to see men like Calafiore playing at left back when you've spent £1 billion.
No, I hope we don't see that.
So let's get real. This is where Berta was the best signing for this football club.
Fact.
Because he's going to look at that and he's going to go, yo, you men have spent £750 million.
Man, this
and
is
I'm
what you got
looking
to
at
show
men
for
like that on the bench. What's going on?
Yeah, we need to change that.
I'm struggling to see a decent centre half when you spent £750 million. No. Sorry, Mr. Arteta, you're not having the purse strings now.
Yeah,
I'm
trying
in charge.
to change stuff.
I'm in charge here now. I'm not putting up with this madness.
And he was at the game. Hopefully, he's seeing what he needs to do in the market, man.
This guy will cause a riff. This guy will cause a riff, and he needs to, because this guy needs to take control of what's been going on with all this money that's being spent.
And he's a lad with a big reputation, very different to Eddie.
DG, and as I said to you before, when this club has nearly spent £1 billion in the summer, I expect quality on the bench as well as quality on the pitch. And at the moment, we haven't got that, and that's why we're not winning nothing.
Facts. I wish I could disagree with that. What else have we got? We've apparently Berta likes Gyökeres. We want to hear that. We're linked with Ollie Watkins and Delap again, guys. Saka's contract apparently is moving in the right place. Nico Williams remains undecided as to whether he actually wants to leave. Go on.
Sorry, I would get Delap. I know a lot of people wouldn't agree with me, but I would get Delap not as a starter, of course, but as a potential.
Yeah,
I think.
I was going to ask you, you answered it.
Yeah,
I still lose to Mendy as well.
I'd get Kudus from West Ham, and I'd even put a bid in for Bowen as well.
Kudus, and we had the chance to sign Kudus.
Bowen and Kudus, man, I'm telling you, kill him.
Hey DJ, do you remember when we had the chance to sign Kudus for 30 million or 40 million?
When he was at Ajax,
Now he's 100.
Now it's
sign him for 100.
Go and get Bowen. You can play him on the right. You can play him in the centre. You can drop him in midfield. The guy knows the Premiership.
Proper plug and play player.
He scores goals. He can cross. He can create.
Delap is 30 million. I think he's a very good option for people, for a club like us.
Go and get Bowen, and then you've got Danny Dyer to protect you in the stands as well. I mean, it's a win-win, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But Gyökeres, obviously, Gyökeres or Isaac, I want to see something like
more
that.
than welcome.
I want to see a baller. I want to see a baller. Yeah, they told us we'll get Champions League and get ballers. Where are they? Where are they?
But Rashid, if we get a Gyökeres, he's the man I want, right? He's the one signing I want. If you go and get them both, go and get Gyökeres, go and get a Bowen. I'd sooner Bowen than Sesko. Sesko's a project. We ain't got time for projects, man. We ain't got time to nurture anyone else now.
I'd love two strikers, but it's not.
We've already nurtured two forwards. We've nurtured two midfield players into the forward line. Kai Havertz, £65 million, 280 grand a week, is playing midfield. We've nurtured him as a forward that can't bag more than 10 goals a season, right? And now we're nurturing Marino as a forward. We can't do that with Sesko, mate. We need a proven striker, and then we need a proven backup striker. That's what we need.
I wish I could disagree, especially Gyökeres needs to be the first signing come the end of the market. Like, if I see that, I'm like, we're in the money. We've also been
in early DG as well.
Early because we're going off the pre-season. I think they're changing when the market closes. We need them. We need all of our players in early. But if nothing more, a centre mid and the striker for me. I think we need to do several things, but they're the two areas that every week I watch Arsenal. I think them roles are needed to be updated. So my last thing for you lot then, because it's bang on, because some people are telling us apologies for Kivio. Ornstein said, and I've saw this as we was online, on Arsenal's interest in Hodgson, it is strong and they remain in contention. They are among the clubs who have met his reps, with Arteta and Berta keen to sign him. Whether or not Arsenal win the race is unclear because it's still open, and I'm not aware of a front runner between them, Chelsea, and Liverpool to date. Previously, I think Kivio exiting Arsenal was highly possible. That might be less certain following his rise in prominence. Either way, Hodgson would play a lot of football at Arsenal. Now, this doesn't mean they will opt for them. There are pros and cons to each of the suitors, all of whom are ready to pay the release clause. Hodgson and Bournemouth want it sorted sooner rather than later. Would you not make it that, assuming he does come to Arsenal then? I'm on it. I want that.
Yeah. I would. Yeah, I'm on it. Definitely. It's an upgrade. Premiership as well, experience. So for me, again, he wouldn't be my first choice as to start in front of what we've already got. But it's what I'm saying. It'll make the squad stronger. I don't think
50 odd million. I think.
Yeah,
that's money, bro. That is money, DJ. That is money. Yeah, think about it.
Hey, my money. I'm past point of caring about us spending.
Of course, but you know this club,
yeah,
this club and this manager, there's a certain amount of money they're gonna give him. It's not like they're just gonna give him. You're not gonna get an Isaac and pay 100 million for that. You're not. You're gonna have a budget, and what you can do with it, you do with it. And we need 9 players to actually be to the level. 9 players. I can name them right now. Goalkeeper.
Yeah, name them.
Okay, goalkeeper, centre back, left back, because all the others are shit. Apart from Skelly, of course, and Tierney, he's got problems with him, so we're not gonna count him. You've got another midfielder, a creative midfielder as well.
Central midfielder, definitely.
A central midfielder. That's 4. You've got a left wing, a number 10, a right wing, a striker. Come on, man. What are we doing here?
I only disagree with one.
Which one?
Right wing.
Well,
I don't think we need that.
Competition, no?
Got Wanyeri. All them guys can play on the
I
right
want
hand
Ethan
side.
as a number 10, man.
Do you think he's
He'll
got
get game time everywhere, man.
Do you think this manager's going to get the best out of Wanyeri? I think he's got a problem with him already. Seriously.
I think he'll be. I think he will for what it's worth, man. I think he could be exposed to more first minutes. I think Arteta is doing the seniority thing, but then I look at it, you know, maybe I'm coping on this season. Whatever way, I'm not. Ethan should be upset about not starting yesterday, but you've probably played a lot more football than you would have liked. I do think in the modern day he has to improve off the ball, but that is one. Going back to what DJB's been saying, I have to watch that one closely because it is ever developing, and I wonder when he's going to be like, you know, F it. I've already been exposed to it. My best friend Lewis Skelly's getting England call-ups and these things. I want to be involved. But I think he'll be all right, man. If he could, I think his improvements are more off the ball, bar the obvious. If he could kind of mimic what Odegaard does off the ball, I think Odegaard be on the bench at this moment in time if his form stays like this.
Yeah, that'd be
nice. It depends, man.
But why would you need to defend? Why would you need to defend with 3 players in the midfield against Crystal Palace, against Burnley, against teams
them
like
questions are for the gaffer. I wish I had answers for you, bro.
Do you know what I'm saying? Why for that? Why?
We've got a baller in the wings though in a couple of seasons' time.
Yeah, Mac.
The manager, Downman.
We want to see some football. Ethan is football. Ethan is football. I want to see some football on the pitch. Not robots. Pass to the left, backwards, sideways.
That's something Arteta has to fix, man. Like, we need a bit of healthy randomness if we are to, as we've been speaking about the theme of this, at least cut that 13 draws in half and win certain games and ultimately just get over the line, man. Like, my personal thing is, I don't actually mind it. Okay, it might not be my sort of football, but if that's how you want to play, cool. Make sure you got a plan B when it's not happening and make sure we can go up the gears. Because one thing that annoys me is whether we're win, losing or drawing and whatever the context is, like whether we started a game or we need a goal in the last 5 minutes or something, we just keep doing the same thing. And that's going back to what one of you said earlier, the Real Madrid one with Declan Rice. Now, of course, that's a screamer, but it went off script. We won the fine margins, things what we've been doing, but there was a bit of randomness. I don't think we have that enough to get a title over the line, man. But hope I'm wrong.
No, you're right. Yeah, exactly. We need more leaders on the pitch, definitely. And I think we need to change the captain. If Odegaard's there next season, then I think we need to relook at the cap. I don't think Odegaard can go into another Premiership as our captain. I think Rice, Gabriel, if he's still at the club, because that's
even Lewis Skelly's pushing him really on leadership quality.
Gabriel could be on the radar to go, man. And he's what, 27, 28. Yeah. If you're getting 100 million, if you're being offered 100 million for him,
they'll take it.
I think Declan Rice would be perfect just because of the English thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Rice would be a perfect captain for Arsenal. Yeah,
and he's just moving like a captain, if I'm honest. Like,
I
would more want to see.
He's done it before.
Look how he dealt with Partey when he got that silly yellow card, Rice.
Oh, yeah. He was like, hey, listen, I know what he was saying to him. He was like, are you going to leave me by myself against PSG? With Jorginho next to me.
You know what I'm saying? Where was Odegaard in that situation? These are the questions you have to ask.
Yeah.
But I think naturally the captains take control anyways. Like, remember when Xhaka lost his captaincy and it was Odegaard? Like, respectfully to Odegaard, it was clearly still Xhaka. Like, leaders are going to lead. I know Odegaard does the by example thing, but yeah.
And in all credit to Odegaard, I don't think he's comfortable being captain. I think if you release him that kind of
this is what I was going to ask.
Pressure, you might see a different Odegaard.
And if we don't, then we're in further trouble.
Oh man,
I thought about that one. It could be, but I don't think Odegaard. I think it's just Odegaard. The reason why he's not playing well is because of the whole running. He's defending too much.
Yeah, I'm trying to give him the benefit.
I hear that.
Yeah, and I think you said that yesterday, DJ, on the emergency meeting. I think so. And he's defending too much. By the time he's in front of goal or he's in a position where he needs to let the ball go or make an assist.
Yeah,
he's tired. He's tired. What does everybody say when you say Odegaard? What do they say? They say, "Oh, well, what does he do? Does he do the off ball? Does he do the off ball thing?" Like every time you say, "Oh, play Ethan," what does he do the off ball thing? There you go. Odegaard is doing it, and he's running too much. He's running too much. And
no,
by the
you
time
are right.
He's up,
they do say that,
man. Come on, man.
And I think that's what keeps Odegaard. If I'm honest, with all the struggles and the injuries and everything, I think that's what's keeping Odegaard in the team. And that, like, you do all of that quote unquote off the ball kind of thing. And I was saying this to my friend on WhatsApp. I was like, when we think of Odegaard, you know, he's technically proficient. You can see why he's a professional footballer. But if he was more of an industrial kind of player, probably wouldn't stick. Like, he's still putting in the shift, he's working off the ball, etc., etc. He just needs to get his act together. For me, and I want to go back to what you said there, like getting rid of the captaincy. I hear it makes logic, but then what if he still stinks up the place? I only say that because there's still bare pressure on you, because as you both know, you play for Arsenal Football Club. You know, everybody, it's not going to go anywhere.
DG, me personally, look at Odegaard after seeing players throughout the years. And I think Odegaard can't go up anymore. I think he's reached his level. I think he'll have his good games. I think he'll have his good games, and you'll go, yo. But I can only see Odegaard just staying at one. You know them sort of, we've played football. You know them players that are just kind of, they burst onto the scene. You go, yo, this player's brilliant. And then you think to yourself, why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? Why has he dropped off? I just think that he's reached that kind of level.
He might be one of those.
I don't think he can step up another level. I think that's it. You know, and he'll have one or two games of brilliance. But, you know, you saw it with a Magic Man, the Merson. You know, he'd do things and you'd go, that's madness. How's he done? Where's he got that from? And like Rocastle and players like men like this. And you just think like, whoa, where's he done that? You know, where's that coming from? Yeah. With Odegaard, if you watch him game in and game out, it's the same similar patterns of play. He'll pick the ball up, he'll get the ball off the defender, he'll spin around, he'll go left with it, he'll cut back, he'll pass.
Doesn't look confident, man.
Yeah. Listen. I hope he finds some sort of level. I hope he can go again, and I hope it's in the Champions League, man, because that's where
I think it's the system, DJ. I just think it's the system. That's what it is, because Odegaard had that season, and the season after that, he wasn't shit. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. The numbers would go up, but I just think it's not good enough. For me personally, I want to start seeing our players getting the 20+ goals. I want a baller. I want someone to be my Salah. I want someone to be my KDB. I want someone to be my Haaland.
But just someone said in the comment, he needs to be pushed. We need to make the right signings so Odegaard's push, man. He's got it too easy at the moment. He knows it. He knows
Walcott was saying that as well.
He knows he's going to get the shirt no matter what, you know. And it's not healthy. You need competition. You need competition. Players need to be pushed.
Yeah. That's why you see Moreno playing better than Havertz and Jesus, which is mad to me. It's absolutely mad. If
we're a mad team, man.
I'm cutting. That's it. If Moreno's playing better than me, a striker, my whole life, nah, come on, man. And he's a number 6. He's playing them better than me. That's a vial. But I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, we need to start pushing these players to the limits, man.
But you know,
start pushing these players.
You know, no matter who we sign, he will play Havertz.
He has to.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to fall
$100,000 a week
with his signing. He will play Havertz no matter what. He has to justify Havertz being in the team. He's going to die on the hill by this Havertz guy. Even if we sign Gyökeres, he will find a way to get Havertz in the team. And
he's going to have to. You've got to justify to the Cronkies them wages.
He's too stubborn in certain areas, and that's another worry I have over him.
Oh, fact, man. Fact.
It's fact. Let's just hope Tuesday we do the thing. We're wrapping up now. I know everyone's got a bounce. It's been close to 2 hours, man. It's been a pleasure with you lot and Aaron while he was here, man. Let people know where they can find you both, man, before we get out of here, lads.
Hey, Arsenal Revolution TV, man. I'm gonna be live in about 5 minutes. Gonna be doing Arsenal Man United. So yeah, catch me then. I'm doing build-ups to the games. So like against PSG, I'm doing a little build-up. 6:30.
Go and subscribe.
Talking about the game, whatever. Like and subscribe, man. Like and subscribe to D. He's giving us a platform as well. And big up to DJ, Aaron, of course.
Lovely to speak football with you lot.
Now you'll see me doing the rounds. You'll see me on Dan Potts.
As always.
Lee and Aaron, and I might even pop up here, there, and everywhere. But I am trying to get my own channel kind of going.
Need to.
Yeah, just a little bit of a hobby thing, just see how it goes, and put it out there just to see how it goes. But that's all in the line. But yeah, no, DG. Oh, I'm on with Jez tonight, 8:30. We do our history show, which is...
Make sure you're checking that out.
Yeah, we're doing about the FA Cups, your worst and your best, and
I'll
your
be there
memories
to
of
watch
all the Arsenal FA Cups. And it's a nice show because it just takes you away from all the madness, you know.
This is why I said I'll be there to watch it. I like it. It's a good escape from reality.
Yeah, so big up everyone, and DG, always a pleasure, my friend. And it's true what Aaron said earlier on, you do give people opportunity from both sides.
Appreciate you,
and do your
thing.
thing.
Will be boring. I don't ever want this to be an echo chamber of I'm the most Arteta ring guy there is. Let me be around others, or I want everybody out. Let me be around others. We all look at the game differently. Everyone's got points. It'd be boring.
Yeah, you're open for business. Exactly. You know,
exactly.
Listen, I've said it all along. Everyone's got their opinions. Everyone's got their views. You don't have to disagree. You don't have to agree with what me and Rashid and Aaron and Lee
or
and
anyone
say. You don't have to agree with it, but we give a difference of opinion. We give factual opinions of making you think like, well, hang on a minute, is it all rosy in the garden? Because sometimes if you just put blinkers on, it's not healthy.
Exactly.
And that's all it is, guys. But we're all Arsenal fans. And we're all one big community. So bless up, everyone. Bless up.
Come on. And on that note, people, we're out, man. See you lot. When I see you lot, defo be getting this done again. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts. No doubt you've disagreed with a lot of what we're saying. Let me let the lads get out of here. One love. Safe.
Big up.
Peace.
Always